Hi, I'm Troy from Studio 33 Guitar. Thanks for watching. Today we're looking at how to play Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. This song was originally recorded in 1975 and it's a classic song. It's got a really great intro that's instantly recognizable. If you start playing this at a party or some sort of gathering, everybody's going to recognize it right away. It actually sounds a little bit harder to play than it actually is, so I'm going to break it down and really simplify things so even if you're more of a beginner, you'll be able to quickly play this song. As always, you can go to my website, studio33guitar.com, and you can download a free PDF version of the chords and lyrics for this song. And that'll make it a little bit easier for you to follow along with this lesson. And while you're on the site, you can have a look at some of the other free lessons that are there, as well as some of the paid courses that I offer. But for now, let's zoom in on the neck, have a look at how to play Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Like I mentioned, the intro for this song sounds a little bit more complicated than it really is. So I'm going to break this down and try and simplify it for you. The main thing that we want to focus on here are two chords, an E minor chord and a G major chord. So let's take a look at the G major first. So typically when I play a G major chord, if you've watched some of my other videos, you've seen me talk about this, I'll plug in these two fingers right here, the ring finger and the pinky finger. And this way of playing a G major chord is really useful in this song because we're going to leave those two fingers down when we play a couple of other chords. So once we have that G major chord shape, you want to look at where your middle finger is and where your index finger is. Because the first riff of this song goes like this. So that's that G note, then the open A, and then the B, then the open D, and then your middle finger here on this E. Now, the very first time that you play it, you're going to skip that G note. So we're actually going to start the first time through without that G note in there. It's going to sound like this. Now, the key to make this sound right is you need to do a hammer-on from the open A string to that B note. So the way that you do a hammer-on is you play the note, and then you don't play it again with your pick, but you just bring your index finger down, bring it down hard, and push that note in. So you have this. Now that takes a bit of strength to do. If you're not used to doing that, just keep practicing. Just make sure when you bring your finger down, you're coming as close to the fret as you can. If you do back here, it's going to be harder to get that note to come out properly. So the next notes are on the next string, the same pattern. But here we don't do a hammer-on, we do actually play that note with our pick. Now when we get to that note, you could leave your index finger down like that, and the next chord that you're going to play is an E minor chord. Now on the original recording, I believe that he's playing it just like we have our fingers here, and you're going to play with your pick from the D string down. So you can play it that way, but what I would recommend is to play that second set of notes on that string with your middle finger. So that would look like this. Because now you're going to plug your index finger in right above it, and that's going to give you an E minor 7 chord. You can play all 6 strings here. So if you play it the way I showed you at first, just putting your index finger down here and playing these notes, you are still playing an E minor chord, but you're not playing all 6 strings. If you leave your index finger up here and your middle finger here, you can play all 6 strings. Or if you want, you can make it sound a little bit more like the original recording by not playing those bottom 2 strings. You can still just play from the D string down. But the reason that I recommend that you play it like this is it's going to make it a little bit easier for some of the other chord changes if you already have these fingers in this position. And for me personally, it helps me to focus on what chord I'm actually playing because I recognize that as an E minor 7, whereas this would take me a minute to figure out exactly what chord that is. So just for me mentally, it's easier for me to focus on what that chord is and see it right away. So again, I'll leave that up to you. You can decide which way you want to do that, but I think you'll see in a minute here there is an advantage of playing it this way. So the song from the beginning starts like this. And then, like I said, You can put your index finger back down. Now you're going to strum that chord. Next, we're going to play this index finger note, and then the open G string right below it, back to that middle finger, to the open D string. And then we're going to go to that G chord. So far from the beginning. And now we're going to repeat, but this time we're going to include that G note in that walk up. So that's going to sound like this. And then the same pattern here again. Back to the G. Then we're going to walk up again. And now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to play that middle finger note again, but we're going to play from that down to an open D. And then the index finger on that B note to an open A. So again, there you can see where the advantage is that we have these fingers already in place. And now we're going to play an A sus4 chord. So we're just going to take those two fingers from the E minor chord and we're going to move them down one string each. That'll give us this A sus4 chord. So that part again was. Now we do this walk down to this A sus4. And then you're going to play that exact same thing again. And then at the very end of the intro, you're going to start that riff again, but then go to a G chord. And then that's going to lead us into the verse of the song. So let's just go through that entire intro again from the beginning. So let's get our G chord into position. Now remember, the first time through, we're not going to play that G note. So we're going to start with the open A note. An E minor. To the G chord. Now we're going to add in that G note. E minor. Walk up again, E minor. Now we're doing that different thing. We're doing the walk down from the middle finger to the A sus4 chord. Walk up again. Walk down again. The A sus4. And now the ending. Next, we're going to move on to the verse section of the song. The verse section just uses 4 chords. You've got a C chord, a D chord, an A minor chord, and a G chord. So the first chord is going to be a C chord. Now you can play that as a regular C major like this, or you can play it as a C add 9 if that's more comfortable for you. If you've watched some of my other videos, you'll see that I often do recommend playing a C add 9 chord. But either way that you decide to play that is fine. So the first way that we're going to strum this is just focusing on the chord changes, and you'll just be strumming down strums on every beat. So that'll be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So So every chord is going to get a count of 4 like that. So we start with that C, 2, 3, 4 to D, 2, 3, 4 to A minor, 2, 3, 4 to G. Now we're going to take those same chords, but we're going to change up the order. We're going to go to D next. 1, 2, 3, 4 to C, 2, 3, 4 to A minor, 3, 4 to G. And then it plays the same thing for the second verse. Now here's a couple of strumming options that you could use. Again, each chord gets a count of 4, so you're still going to have that bass of 1, 2, 3, 4, but now we're going to add in some upstrokes. So we could start that by just having an upstroke at the end after 4. So that would sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Then go to the next chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. A minor. 2, 3, 4, and G. So the next level will be to add another upstroke after the 2. So that would sound like this. Down, down, up, 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 down. On some of the versions that I've seen Pink Floyd do live, he also does a strumming pattern more like this one. Gives it a little bit more energy. We're adding in some more ups and downs, and that sounds like this. So that's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. This song doesn't have a chorus, it just has the verses and then the intro section again. So that's the entire song. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to learn some more songs, you can check out this playlist right here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.